Matsalani Mamabolo, South Africa's most successful soccer writer.
You Pirates fans were looking for Rulani to come. You guys are unrealistic. Rulani Mukwena, Pirates.
3 times winner of Premiership Soccer Writer of the Year and 3 times winner of the Sports Writer of the Year. Every day he takes you inside SA Soccer, exclusive to omniaudio.africa. Weekdays, 9:30 a.m.
Break it down. Africa's premier sports destination.
Good morning on this beautiful, wet and cold Monday in Johannesburg. It's raining most parts of the country. I was traveling actually this morning, and yeah, it's rainy. Please be careful out there. Be safe, because yeah, you know how accidents happen during this kind of weather. Talking of accidents, there was a huge one that happened out in the DRC. It's a result I don't think anyone would have predicted. Orlando Pirates suffered a 3-0 defeat to St. Eloi Lupopo. I'm shocked actually. Orlando Pirates, 10 games unbeaten. In fact, a winning run of 10 games. They go into this match with their players fresh from helping us, South Africa, Bafana, qualify for the FIFA World Cup. Ozwe Napoles scores. Evidence Mahoba scores for Bafana. Talente Mbata scores for Bafana. I think just about every South African, particularly the Buccaneers fans, had anticipated that their team will go there and get a good result. And a good result, I mean a win. I did not necessarily think they will win easily, but I honestly expected them to win. St. Eloi Lupopo is not a great team out in the DRC. You know of TP Mazembe and AS Vita Club. So when those teams did not qualify, this St. Eloi Lupopo made it. And when Pirates drew them, I thought, I was actually thinking El Merreigh, who beat St. Lupopo knocked out, would be a tougher opposition for Pirates. So when they got this one, I thought, no, the Buccaneers should do well. But no, Coach Abdeslam Owadu and his boys got smashed 3-0. Lupopo scored very early on, and then scored late on 70 minutes, and then they scored a third towards the end, 90th minute. Now, this is information we are getting from that side. That's what they're saying. One of the things that I find a little disappointing is that I've looked around, I don't know if you saw anything, but there hasn't really been anything from Pirates about just how the match went, because here's why I'm saying this. I've covered African football for years and years, and one of the things that I know happens on the continent particularly is I don't want to say cheating, but there's always this, the officials often favor the local teams. And in the DRC, I went there many years ago with Black Leopards. I remember I think they were playing Vita Club, and a blatant not given for Black Leopards. There was a goal that you feel should not have been, that was given to the opposition. So it would be very, very interesting to see if Pirates really lost, fairly and squarely. Now, what does that mean? A round match of the World Cup qualifiers when they beat us 2-0 on an artificial pitch, where the pitch was also waterlogged, and Bafana just did not know how to deal with it because they had not prepared themselves for that. So it's the shock. That's the big, for me, that's the big news from the weekend. Orlando Pirates losing 3-0. This is a club that was in the semi-final of Egypt, knocking them out in the semis. Pirates having had a fantastic show. And expectations from a lot of us were that this year, Pirates will go and shine. But can they? Can they still do that? Football is very fickle. 3-0 looks like a score. I read somewhere somebody even saying Pirates still have to host, and they have it in them. I believe Pirates are still a strong team. Lupopo is not one of the greatest. They took their chances clearly, and as I say, once we've seen the videos, if we will be able to, and once Pirates come and tell us exactly what happened, we will then, you sit and say, okay, they lost, they scored, and the goals were all fair. Therefore, that's Pirates up to them now to turn out. Look, it's still 3-0 no matter whether this. I saw Ozzy Napoles did not start. Came on as a sub. Can he start? Can he do what he did for Bafana against Rwanda? I think Orlando Pirates are going to, this is the big test. Everybody has been saying, if you listen to our show at the start, there's this clip of me, almost ridiculing you Pirates fans for thinking Rulani would come. You are probably now thinking, had Rulani been there, he probably knows continental football better. But I think Coach Abdeslam Owadu has shown us since he took over just how good a coach he is. And this is his big test. If Pirates fail to reach the group stages, no matter what they achieve domestically, I think even if they were to win the league championship, this would be a season that would be seen as Pirates have failed, because a club as big as them, a club that reached the semi-finals last season, cannot be knocked out, not in the preliminary round. We had that, if you remember, when they lost to Jwaneng Galaxy about 3 seasons ago in the preliminaries, and that was a scandal for a club as big as Orlando Pirates. You'll remember it's been 30 years since they won. Is it 30? 1995 years. A second star ahead of Orlando Pirates, and this was a season where everyone was thinking, this is it. They've signed big players. They've strengthened their squad. We've seen them in the domestic championship doing very well. As we said, Pirates had gone 10 matches without winning, without losing, and for them to then lose the way they did, it's that. But yeah, we will get in contact with the Buccaneers. They'll be preparing for the second leg, and we will then get to hear just what is it that happened out in the DRC. It's sad. It's a black day, as I say, but it's not the end. Pirates have it in them, and should they turn things around, they need to win 3-0 here at home, take the match to penalties, or better still, win 4-0 or even more, and then they can then go into the group stages. And if they do that, then the rest of the continent are going to look up and say, you go into the group stages as one of the favorites, because everybody will say, this team, if they can move from being 3-0 down to winning, they are clearly tough customers. So that's let's see how it goes. It's the Buccaneers, as we say, they lost 3-0 to St. Eloi Lupopo. Can they turn it around? Now, a team that needs no turning things around lost. They were coached by a coach who had been in the final the previous seasons, Miguel Cardoso, and all expectations were they will win, but they did not. That's water under the bridge. Sundowns get into the Champions League, their first match, and they just tore Remo Stars apart. They scored 5-1. They won that match 5-1. Now, what's more special about this victory is the fact that since continental football, since we went back into continental football, Sundowns had never, ever won a Champions League match in Nigeria. So they went there, and, some trepidation there and thereabouts. You're going to try and do something you had never done. And if you're going to do that, do it in a special way. And they really did. But one of the things that surprised me was the turnout. Prior to the match, there'd been talk from Nigeria that Remo Stars are so hell-bent on winning this match that they are going to open the stadium for free. Fans were going to come in for free. And when that gets said, I expected about. You could see they were just way superior to Remo Stars, and the way they played, knocking the ball the Sundowns way, was very beautiful to see. And the fact that they scored all those 5 goals from different players just talks to the depth that Miguel Cardoso has at his disposal, and expectations surely are that Sundowns can now go all the way. They have to. They've been qualifying for the group stages. That's common. That's taken for granted that Sundowns will do that. Tashrik Matthews scored. Peter Shalolile keeps extending his goal tally as the best highest scorer in South African football. Resinho scored his first, and then Arthur Sales also got his name on the pitch. And Young Katlehon Zabeleng comes off the pitch, and he too scores the goal. So 5 years they conceded 1, and typically, if you're winning those kind of matches, you try to not concede. Ronwen Williams would have been a little disappointed the way he was beaten at his knee. It was at the post there, but 5-1 is a great result, and I can bet you Sundowns are through to the next group stage. There's just no way Remo Stars are going to come back from this one. Now, what do they do for the second leg? Do they rest? Do they play others? I think he should. He should let other players, just give them a chance, and let's see how it goes. This is what Coach Miguel Cardoso had to say after that match.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me give you guys. Okay. 6. Thank you. Introduce yourself first. Important that we understand that this is the first match. Of course, there's a big difference on the score, but we respect football, and to respect football is to go on the second match with approach as serious as possible, because also we have responsibility, and the match and the qualifying round is not finished. And for sure, Mamelodi Sundowns will be as serious on the second match as we were today. So congratulations to my players for the work they did, for the commitment they had. Even at halftime, we spoke a lot about the energy that was needed to bring on second half, even being ahead by 2. Well, and I think the message entered their heads, and then they had the commitment, the heart, enough to fight until the last to make it the score as big as possible. Let's travel home, rest as much as possible. It was not easy to come here, but I think we did it the right way. So, thank you very much.
Yeah, look, I mean, I agree with Miguel Cardoso. You see, that kind of attitude is an attitude of champions. You smashed your opposition 5-1. You are not all done. The Sundowns, very different. It's been Simani that we go out there, we play. We do not disrespect anybody. We smash them if we can.